Juilus Caesar. That seemed appropriate for tonight.
I suppose it does. Because you are correct. We are once again reintroduced to our old friend, Julius Caesar. I think what the game is doing is I think it's doing a little bit of table setting. For the past few weeks, we've been following Pompey, and now it looks like we're going to be following Caesar around for a little bit. And we're going to go back to the Gallic Wars. Of course, you remember the battles we fought earlier this summer, and that was sort of the end of the Gallic Wars after he'd already kind of conquered most of Gaul, had set his sights across the channel over to the great unknown in Brittany. But we're going to step back towards the beginning of the Gallic Wars tonight. So set the stage a little bit, just to remind everybody what's gone on before. For like the past 50 years, the Roman Empire has been under internal pressures and fights. You know, Marius and Sulla both had marched on Rome. Spartacus had led a slave rebellion. And this really destabilizes the Republic, which allows the formation of the First Triumvirate with three individuals: Pompey the Great, the military general; Crassus, the richest man in Rome, who you remember tried to make a name for himself by bringing Spartacus to justice; and Julius Caesar. Now, Caesar had been consul for the past few years and had run up a little bit of debt. So in order to make some fast cash, he secured some provinces to govern. This would have been Illyrium, which is sort of up to the east of Italy; Cisalpine Gaul, which is that area right above Italy; and then Transalpine Gaul, which is the area to the west along the Mediterranean coast. And that is the extent of the empire at this point. Along with those three provinces, Caesar also gains control of the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th legions. These are all legions he had fought with before, so they were already loyal to him. And that gave him control of about 22,000 men. So Caesar had some territory, he had an army, now he needed a fight. And luckily for him, a tribe of Gauls called the Helvetii were going to provide that for him. The Helvetii wanted to migrate from Central Europe into Gaul around 58 BC. And this was going to be a gathering of about 368,000 different tribesmen. They were so committed to this move that they even burned their homes, so they had nothing to go back to. Now, the Romans, of course, after the migration of the Cimbri, were pretty wary whenever there were any huge migrations of Germanic tribes into the area. So they immediately called out for Caesar to put a stop to these guys. Caesar stymied the advance of the tribes at Geneva by building a bit of a rampart across the river, which prevented the Helvetii from crossing there. So they had to circle back and take the northern route through the mountains. In that time, Caesar returned to Cisalpine Gaul and raised 3 more legions, bringing his total numbers up to 33,000 legionnaires. While he was doing that, he left one of his lieutenants, Labienus, in charge of the defense. And Labienus failed to do so. And when I say fail, you can't see me making air quotes. But he failed to stop the advance of the Helvetii into central Gaul, probably under orders from Caesar himself, because now this gave Caesar the excuse he needs to meet the Helvetii in open battle.
Casus belli, as they say.
Yes, yes. So as soon as the Helvetii, hit central Gaul and start stacking and looting and pillaging, the local tribe, the Aedui, petitioned for help and asked Caesar to come and rescue them. And he's more than happy to march his armies into Gaul and do just that. So the Helvetii tribe is crossing at the Arar River, and it's taking them forever. Trying to get across the river piecemeal with a motley collection of barges and rafts and canoes and whatever else they can lay their hands on. Fallen trees, I'm sure. Caesar's legion catches up to them at this crossing. He quickly mounts an attack and wipes out the trailing group of Helvetii, while the other three main groups who are already across the river can do nothing but just watch as their fellows are slaughtered by the Romans. So the Helvetii decide to keep on going, thinking that with the river in the way, they'll be able to put some bit of distance between themselves and Caesar. Caesar, however, takes initiative and in a day builds a bridge and crosses his entire legion across the river. So a river crossing that took the Helvetii 20 days took Caesar only 1. The Helvetii still outnumber Caesar at this point, so he's trailing behind them, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. There are a few minor skirmishes, but eventually Caesar decides he's going to have to fall back to a small town called Bibracte. At this point, Divico, the leader of the Helvetii, turns around and starts giving chase to Caesar. Caesar leaves behind a skirmishing force to delay the Helvetii, and at the Bibracte, Caesar decides to make his stand. He deploys his main force up in the nearby hills, with his four veteran legions forming 3 lines, and then his 2 newly raised legions are in the back, protecting the all-important base camp and the wagon train. The Helvetii advance upon this formation in one of those tight shield walls with all their shields laced together, and they are assaulted by a volley of javelins from Caesar's legions, which pin the Helvetii's shields together, making them useless. So this begins to break the shield wall apart and causing gaps in the Helvetii lines, which the Roman legionnaires charge into. This pushes the Helvetii back across the valley up into the mountains. And at this point, some of the Helvetii allies arrive, some outriders from 2 tribes called the Bui and the Talingi. And they try to flank Caesar in the mountains. Caesar brings some of his veteran forces out into the wings and meets them all in one full line. And after some intense fighting, finally breaks the main Helvetii group, sending them fleeing. The Bui and the Talingi fall back to their wagon trains, and then they take their baggage carts and make a rampart to defend themselves. And this is probably the most vicious fighting of the battle, trying to dislodge the Bui from this slapdash fortification. But in the end, in the middle of the night, the Romans finally win, wiping those guys out. This was about 12 hours of fighting altogether. Caesar lost about 5,000 men. The Helvetii probably lost anywhere from 40 to 60,000 in the fighting. So that 368,000 that started this journey, they are now whittled down to about 130,000 from all the skirmishes and fightings and this big battle.
I've seen in modern scholarship that they have reduced that number down a bit. You know, to be pretty much conservative. I think I've seen anywhere from 12 to 15. And of course, as we've seen time and again, Caesar said 250,000 men were killed because...
That's right, because as we've established before, Caesar's writing his own history at this point. So he is our source for most of his information. So it would not surprise me that he's padding his numbers just a little bit. Caesar at this point has no cavalry to pursue the Helvetii, so he decides to rest his troops for 3 days and then pursues. The Helvetii see that the Romans are pursuing them, and they just unconditionally surrender. He sends the Helvetii back to where they came from, and as we established in the beginning, where they burnt all their homes, so they went back to ruins and made them a vassal of Rome, giving them a bit of a buffer between Gaul and Germania. And at this point, Caesar will return to Bibracte to relax, but already he's hearing rumors of yet another Germanic invasion heading towards the Rhine. So that is where we are tonight for the Battle of Bibracte.
That was an excellent overview, very concise, for as much as was going on there with all of that lead up. That was great. What I love about that, what the wink and nod of the historical aspect of that is, all of those soldiers, and I'm using air quotes too, all those soldiers that didn't make it across the river, yeah, those were families and women, children, elderly, the slower part. So there's probably more of that going on than history is probably recognizing, but because these were entire tribes that were moving.
Absolutely. This was an entire migration. There were like 5 different tribes that formed this Helvetii migration. You're absolutely right. Maybe what half these guys might have been trained fighters.
Right,
Everybody else,
right.
women, children, elderly.
Things are not as glorious as they always seem on paper.
Not at all.
But well, let's take a look at the War Council. I've got it pulled up here on my screen. For the first game, will be taking the Helvetii. I have, quote, various tribal chiefs. I've got at least 2 of them, so I've seen they're just unnamed. I am only going to get 4.
Well, I acknowledge your tribal
Thank
chiefs.
you. I get 4 command cards, but I do get to move first, so I have the element of surprise. Peter, of course, will be taking Julius Caesar and the Romans. He will have 6 command cards for his exceptional military capabilities, and we are playing to 7 banners. It's been a few scenarios since we played to 7 or 8, so this will be a nice return to those longer battles. Our special rules tonight, because of the presence of Julius Caesar, we have the Julian legions, and Julius himself is Caesar himself is on the board. And just reminding everyone that when Caesar is attached to a unit, it gives them the capability of an extra die in battle. So that is their special 1 extra bonus die, plus they can move 2 hexes, a hasty march, and they sort of get that implied double time, and then they can do close combat as long as he's attached with that unit, and that unit can be any foot unit with the exception of a heavy war machine. And the Julian legions have the special capability. They're kind of quasi. That means they are all Marian, and they all have the capability of moving 1 and battling, or 2 and not. The 2 Roman unit auxiliaries down there guarding the camp are, as Peter pointed out, they're the newer legions that have been raised, so they're on camp duty. They're not allowed to leave the hex. They can't move or advance out, but they can engage in range combat if units happen to be close, and they can close combat or battle back if they are attacked adjacent. And then the last rule there is that both sets of camps on either side are worth victory points. So if you get into a camp and you stay there until the beginning of your next turn, you will get 1 permanent banner that cannot be removed, and then that camp is removed. But you have to do that before you play your command card. So that's the very first thing on the subsequent turn after you have occupied that camp. So will that be a factor tonight? Maybe. They always dangle those out there in front of us, but that's a long way to go and a short time to get there. All right. I had to. Well, I will draw my cards here. I got my 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I will get my cards. All right.
Okay. Well, as always, good luck.
Good luck indeed.
Indeed. This is tough. Right out of the gate. All right. Well,
Advance of that shield wall.
that's true. So we will advance 2 or order 2 units in the center. Question is, which 2? Kind of miss my slingers, gotta tell you.
Yeah, but you got plenty of warriors tonight. Or at least the Helvetii do.
Okay. We're going to bring these guys out. And we're going to go 1 to there. These guys will go 1, 2 to there, and they will engage in some combat momentarily. First, we will throw a spear from the auxilia there. Here's 1 die.
To soften them up.
Yes, but that seemed to have no appreciable effect. And then finally, we will have the warriors attack that unit as well. What would they like to do?
Oh yeah, they're going to evade.
Okay.
Of course, it goes without saying that we are playing with hills and forests tonight, too.
Right. So This will be a 4 dice attack with only green circles counting. So here goes. That is a great evade. Okay, well, that ends their turn. So, drawing back.
Activate those 3 units. Legions will attack your warriors. You're rolling 5 dice with leader support.
Whew. I'm beginning to understand why this will be a wipeout.
That's thus begins the building of the Legio 10 reputation. Now, range 6. 2 dice. Nothing. Should have gone after that Auxilia. Oh well.
It does seem like the universe was telling you that. Do 3 units on the left.
Alrighty with the flanking. With the buoy.
Those 3. Go there, and there. And go 1, 2, 3. And they must stop in there, and they cannot battle. Alright. So that's... they both move 2, so I've got nothing to do combat-wise. So, drawing up.
Three on the right. Right. The light infantry will try to attack your cavalry as they ride through the trees. What would they like to do?
I think they will stand.
All right. Cap the 2 dice by into a forest, but I do get leader support tonight with my unnamed centurion there.
Wow.
Get that leader hit.
That is nice.
And with your leader present, you could ignore that flag, should you choose.
Well, we will see, depending on whether he is unhorsed.
Well, that's true. You might have the opportunity. All right. Again, you may ignore that flag, should you choose.
And we shall, and we will fight back with 2 dice out of the forest with leader bonus. Nothing.
And my median cavalry will follow up. Same unit, 2 dice. And another leader hit.
Okay. 2,
But your Helvetii tribal chief still stands.
2 dice. Getting 2 flags would be awesome. Here we go.
Oh, it wouldn't.
We got 1.
1 flag I could ignore,
Yes.
though. All right. I have a very odd hand. It's one of those hands where you individually there's some fantastic cards, but as an overall strategy,
Right.
there's nothing you can really string together.
Okay, let's do this. We'll do leadership any section.
That's a great card. I would kill for one of those cards right now.
And it will be those 4 units. This guy's going to go 1, 2 to there. He's going to go to there. And they're going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. Okay. We'll start with the warriors there. No, good. 3 hits. Well done. We will try to make them pay for that with with 4 dice plus later bonus. We do.
Ouch. Glad I got my licks in. So how are those warriors feeling?
Rather depleted. So they will come after your light infantry here. What would they like to do? Okay, they will stand, so I will give them 3 dice now.
Yep.
And force 1 retreat.
Boo.
And then I will advance into that space. Okay. These guys will throw a die, or 2 dice. So they did not move, so 2 dice to your mediums. Nothing. And that is all.
This feels like such a waste. I just got it, so I'm going to use it. Going after those warriors. In fact, no. I'm going to do this first. Then go after the warriors. So here we go with 3 dice downhill.
Right?
Right?
Yep. Okay. Two on the right. Those 2.
I'm noticing a frustrating thing about the Helvetii formations. It puts one warrior unit out by itself that can make that 2-hex charge, but that's it.
Yep.
He's out there by himself.
You have discovered my pain.
Yes, well, your pain will soon be mine.
Okay, well, let's see if we can do something here. What would the medium cavalry like to do?
I can't lose my other cavalry, so I will have to evade.
So 4 dice, looking for triangles. Getting 1. And the lights, they still have the capability since they moved into the woods. They are able to do a fling. So they will throw some spears. 1 die. Getting a hit. Hurrah!
Just those 3. All right. Legio 10. We'll attack the auxiliary with 5 dice. With your support. Getting 3.
3 hits. Okay, we will return with 3. Getting 1 hit and 1 retreat.
Okay. Under Caesar's auspice, they will press the attack now with 6 dice because of the Julius Caesar rule. I do not feel froggy. I will just mediums against that auxiliary with 4 dice.
2 hits.
1 and a retreat. 2 and a retreat. Not bad. And I can see why this is just a tough game for the Helvetii player.
I think you can do it. You just got to be patient.
Yes, I agree. I'm thinking ahead. I'm wondering if it just might be a matter of maybe rearranging some blocks before advancing, and just let the Romans come to the Helvetii.
But going against Caesar directly is It's tricky. It's
Yeah.
tricky.
The fact that he can make that heavy block move 2 hexes
Hmm.
is so dangerous.
Well,
But and I thought about doing that, but then I was like, well, but then he's out on his own, and next thing you know, he's surrounded by green blocks, and your propensity for rolling flags would
right.
destroy me.
There's things I want to do, but things that are realistic. Let's try this then. Let's do 2 in the center, and it will be those. Let's see if we can't do that. So we'll get 4 dice plus leader bonus on your mediums. And a hit and a retreat. And they will pursue and attack him again. So 4 dice. No leader this time. Get 2 more hits.
Ooh. And we will fight back,
2 hits.
getting
3
hits and a retreat ourselves. But you could ignore the retreat should you choose.
I don't want to retreat 2 blocks or 2 spaces because that will eliminate. So we will ignore. And that is all.
Wow. Well, Willie, well. Those 4. This is risky. All right. First things first, though. 2 arrows at those warriors. Nothing. 4 dice. 5 dice against those warriors. Close. All right. Caesar against that Auxilia. Yeah. Not going to press my luck. Wary of extending. I'm worried now that I've put Caesar out too far.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, really. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Alright. Let's do this one first. Get 3 dice plus leader bonus. 2 hits on Caesar. 3 hits on Caesar. Here's the check for Caesar. He's okay. 2
2 hits and a
retreat.
retreat you can ignore.
Yes. Okay. So 2 hits, but we will take the retreat back to there. Okay. And then now we'll do this one against Caesar. 3 dice plus leader. Got him. Here's the check for Midas Caesar. He lives.
Make that check for going through.
For Devico. Okay, so
yes.
3 dice looking for a leader symbol. Got Caesar.
Downfall. I knew I was risking it. Got greedy. I got greedy, and I'm paying for it.
They will advance. So they would get the advance for eliminating the units. So they could do that.
Yep.
Then come back. Okay, so here's 3 dice plus leader bonus. And wow, wiped him out.
Oh.
Alright, so they'll go 3 dice against that one with leader. Get him.
Wow.
Alright.
Mm.
They will advance. Move 1 hex up the hill. And battle again against the heavy war machine. Now they can evade, correct? I believe.
Evading them means they remove them from the board.
That's right. So it's up to you what you'd like to do.
I'll stick it out.
Okay. So here's 3 dice plus leader again. Oh.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah, stand.
Stick it out.
There you go. All right, 3 dice plus leader. Got him. And they will advance a second time, but they don't get the follow-up movement. So, all right. Well, that went better than expected. They will evade that.
At the 3, going hill to hill.
Yeah, you got him anyway. Okay. For the game. Oh! Oh! Son of a bitch.
Sorry, tribal chief.
Serpentine.
You.
Ah. Damn.
I deserve to lose that game, though. We're trying to get greedy.
No, because I think you did what Caesar is supposed to do. I mean, when you have him attached to a unit like that, you move in there, you blunder through, and it was that moment when you were carving, just cutting them down like sheaves of wheat. And I was like, yeah, no, I totally understand why it's 87% Roman, because if you just go heavy in the center with Caesar and the Legio, it was only because I was trying to get cute with 4 cards. I was trying to set up the Dark in the Sky to get you into the pocket, so it was a trap, to bring you in there and just pelt you with missile fire. But I had the mounted card there for the longest time, and then when you had Caesar there, and I had all 3 units ready to pounce on him, I had to. So I adapted. A lucky strike from the Auxilia brings down the unnamed tribal leader to win it for the Romans in a Pyrrhic victory.
I'll say. Man.
That was really good.
That was good. That was a good comeback.
Well, I appreciate that. Man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units on 1 activation. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Well, you saw it here first. So I need to, go get a drink of water or drink of something. And I will toast to you, sir. And we'll be right back with round number 2. Well, we're back. It still hurts. Incredible finish to that game. It could have gone either way. But the dice, the dice favored Caesar's legacy. Caesar's ghost. Great Caesar's ghost, I guess.
Great Caesar's ghost. Well, I have my 4 cards.
All right, and I get 18 cards. Is that right?
Something like that.
It was
a grip.
6. That's right. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, and expand the window. 6. Okay. Well, these are definitely some cards. So good luck.
Good luck to you. Let's start with a little flanking maneuver here. Order those 4 units. Guys, there. I'll move there. I'll move there. They will move into the woods. Since they are a light unit, they can still battle when moving into a forest. I will harass you with some spears. Ho ho ho!
Definitely harassing.
We have been harassed, sir.
Mm. And harangued. So many tempting possibilities.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll order our heavy
Oh,
troops.
oh, ow!
Mm.
Oh, it hurts.
Okay. So those three. So they can move two and not battle. And these guys will fire two at your lights there. So 2 dice. Nothing.
All right. This is so bad.
And yet you do it.
I
Respect.
have to. Have to cut the head off a snake. 4 dice. Going into Caesar. Leader support.
I believe that is one hit.
2 dice for Caesar.
Okay. Here is 6 dice plus leader bonus. Whew.
So
Gets to
there are
ignore
warriors that
two.
get to ignore 1 flag.
Right.
They're supported, they get to ignore 2 flags. Can't ignore the 3rd flag. They're gone. Mm-mm-mm. Keep on going. 4 dice against Caesar. No leader this time.
One hit.
Two dice.
Ooh.
Ah, so close.
6 back with Caesar. 3 hits.
And I will not retreat since that would destroy the unit. Had to take my shot.
Understood.
We just got to be bold.
Okay. Might as well use this now while I can. Mounted charge. Go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Do here to there first. 4 dice. Got him. He will advance. Move 1. Battle again against Divico. So another 4 dice plus leader this time. Wipe out. There's 1 die. He's okay. And the other mediums have nothing now, so yeah, that's all.
Five dice against that cavalry.
Okay. Ooh, got him. 2 retreats and 1 hit, so you cannot avoid both. So there you go. do a line command. Okay. We'll have Caesar go against your auxilia there. 6 dice. 3 hits and a retreat. So, question is, do I feel lucky? They will stay there, and the Legio will throw 1 die at them. So here's 1 die. And get a wipeout. That is all. I think I will evade that. Move medium troops. So. Let's start with this up here, your auxilia. So it'll be 3 dice with leader bonus. And get 2 hits.
3 dice back. Hey, that's something.
1, 2, back from whence they came. Alright. They will attempt to finish that unit. So, 4 dice, leader bonus. They do.
Yeah, I don't think I have a 5-block turn in me, Patrick.
Never say never. Yeah, they'll come in and try to soften. So we'll do 4 dice, leader bonus. Get 1 hit. Ooh. So 1 hit.
So 1 hit. Let's make that leader check. He's fine.
And a retreat they must take.
Coincidentally, now it gives your
It does.
supports your. Yeah, well, lucky you.
4 dice plus leader.
Luck.
1 hit. 2 back. Okay. All right.
All right, might as well. All right. So that gives me 3 units. That will be 5 dice on those mediums with leader support.
A hit.
Doesn't matter. Didn't do anything.
Okay.
Got 1 hit. That's it. But a retreat.
There.
Really? Okay. They will advance and battle again. 4 dice against the mediums. Same unit. Actually, I should roll an extra die there, but that's okay.
Yeah, got it.
All right. These guys are going to go against Centurion. This will be 4 dice with the Spartacus die. Leader support.
They will
Terrible.
stand and give 4 back plus leader.
And this will be 5 dice against the mediums.
Ooh,
Hey!
look at that.
Centurion lives. That's all I got. No 5 block turn for me.
Well. I guess I gotta try this. So we'll do a rally. And 6 dice. Let's see what we get. We do. So we get to add 2 blocks to Caesar's legions. So rally, rally. And they will move forward and attack. Let's see if they can do something with 6 dice plus leader. Just 2 hits.
Hey, 1 hit.
Leader check. But we
Couldn't I rolled that before?
We will take that retreat. Okay. The great game of keep away.
Not gonna make it easy for you.
No.
Caesar's a buzzsaw. You can move 2 hexes and still attack, so not many places I can get away from you.
Bows.
Don't give me that false sense of hope. Do it. I'm here.
Do it.
Kill me now.
All right. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So go there, 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 and 1, 2 to there.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, I guess you don't need Caesar over there for your support because you've got your Centurion.
Right.
All right.
He's delegating. So we'll start with the warriors over here, waiting for a first strike.
Nope, I don't got it.
Okay, 6 dice.
Oh.
Hail Caesar.
Yeah, they run so far they're not even in the banner thing. They just.
Yeah.
Wow. That was my fault. I tried something bold and it did not pan out. I had meant to use that card to bring the tribal chief here and these warriors. These guys
Trying to
down into
them.
here,
Yeah,
and start playing around in here and try and chew you up on the ends. I also had a left card I could play with too. But nope, I tried to get cute and I paid for it. It's my fault.
well, I think your logic was sound as far as trying to throw the warriors directly at the head of the snake. I mean, it's a gamble, sure. If it paid off, you would have been a genius, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So, so final score on this one then is very heavily Roman favored by a bit. I think they reenact history. They recreate history, tear down the poor Helvetii, and Yeah. So, what are your thoughts? What do you think on this one now? Because we did some in-game discussion about things that were on our mind, but let's bring it all back together. And now that we've both played both sides,
Uh, Caesar is just so tough. I did what I said I was going to do. I was going to try and reorganize the line a little bit, make it so at least there were two groups of warriors who could charge in. Like I said, I had intended to move the tribal chief and those two warriors down there on my left flank to harass your right flank and try and chew you up there on the ends. But I made a decision and I chose poorly, and it cost me.
I
So
think this one kind of makes me look back to when we were playing Julius Caesar in Britain, and I don't know if both of us undervalued him, but we certainly did not play to his strengths as far as the buzzsaw, as you liken it. I mean, in this case tonight, where he's on a heavy and they're just moving two and throwing six dice, that is very potent.
yeah, but that wasn't always the case in those battles because it was a lot of the English stuff. It was a lot. It was mostly mediums, lights, and cavalry.
Right.
So he didn't have a lot of heavy units to join up with in most of those battles. The first few ones where we did do that, I believe.
Yeah, I think it
Uh,
was they were offset or at least mitigated by terrain a lot of times. So
yeah.
that we're playing the terrain game. But this one, I think there is something to the patience part. I think the Helvetii can do it. It's just you gotta hope for the long game, and I certainly did not expect to get 5 units at once, but that was the moment that presented itself. And if you get such a thing with four cards, then it's golden, right? Otherwise, it does seem like a war of attrition where you're just sitting there constantly harassing the flanks and dodging Caesar and you're just making a big opening in the middle to keep away from Caesar. As expected, the camps didn't really play a factor at all. I like to think of them as fool's gold, as my buddy Roger calls them. They're certainly there for VP, but I mean, eh? It was not even on my radar to rush all the way up there and try to get them. But something in the design spoke to somebody to say that seems like a worthwhile objective. But with that, though, we will close this chapter on Bibracte, and we'll move on to 307 next week. And as always, we hope you've enjoyed our little scenario tonight, and it gave you some tension and some thrills and chills and spills. But if you've not yet clicked that subscribe button, as always, please click the like and subscribe button and the bell for notifications. And we love to hear your comments. If we made mistakes, if you want to point something out, we're close enough now that we'll see them and
Or mock our decisions.
or mock our decisions. I think that we get mocked by the dice more than we get mocked by our viewers, so that's a good thing. We are certainly glad you're along for the ride, and thank you for your support each and every week. And I will give you the final say of the evening.
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar! Indeed, yes. Well done, sir. Well, I will see you next week.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.